Now, among the top issues for voters in this election cycle, national security. So what will that look like under a second Trump presidency? Joining us right now for some insight is J.J. Green, a national security correspondent with WTOP News. Great to have you again here with us this morning. Now, Newsweek's headline this morning is Donald Trump's election win leaves NATO facing immediate crisis. Now, we know he's been critical of the alliance in the past, discussed withdrawing during his first term. But in what ways has NATO Trump-proofed itself?
Yeah, good morning, Adriana. What they've done, and they started this several years ago, is they've started working closer together with each other. They have actually formed new, different internal alliances. They've created trainings and learning sessions and processes that focus on Europe, working with Europe for Europe's security. And the most important thing they've done is they've put more money into it. So what they've done is tried to leave out the possibility for being left out if they need the U.S.'s help. In other words, they want to be able to do it themselves with or without the U.S.'s help.
Understood. Now, Trump claims he can solve the conflicts in Ukraine and Gaza. What does his reelection and the GOP Senate mean for us in foreign policy and national security?
Well, it's going to be challenging, and a part of that is what Europe sees is the reality in the U.S. And frankly, European leaders are meeting this morning, and that's their key word: challenging. And a part of it has to do with what Mr. Trump's relationship is with Vladimir Putin and with Russia. What is his relationship with China? And also, looking at other crises and hotspots around the world and indeed in the country. It really all depends on what it is that the Trump team and the world can do together. And that really is going to make the difference in terms of U.S. national security. It can't be isolated and do it on its own. It's got to do it in a global sense, and that's really what the concern is right now. That is going to be challenging.
Last question for you, and that is, how are the U.S.'s adversaries responding to Trump being elected?
All that's running the gamut today, Adriana. You look at Israel, Netanyahu, the leader of Israel. He's overjoyed about this. The Russians have taken a more muted approach to this. In 2016, when he was elected, they were popping champagne corks, but they're not doing that today. I think that there may be a meeting or a call between Putin and Trump later today or soon. And China, of course, is on the other end of that spectrum. This is absolutely the last thing that they wanted to happen. So it's a variety of reactions, and it'll be a variety of responses that we'll have to contend with once he does take office.
J.J. Green, national security correspondent at WTOP, thank you for your insight and your time this morning.
Thank you.
Well, we have learned that Elon Musk and Robert Kennedy Jr. spent most of their day at Mar-a-Lago, and I am getting some new information this morning at the alert desk from our news partners at ABC, and they have learned from sources that both are involved in meetings with top transition officials. Both may be vying for the top cabinet or administration posts. Musk poured millions into Trump's super PAC. Trump has also repeatedly said that he wants to put Kennedy Jr. into a prominent role. Now, in recent days, he even said that he would consider, Kennedy said that he would consider gutting the FDA's nutrition department and removing fluoride from water.
Your vote in the transition of power from President Biden to President-elect Trump is now in the works. We have team coverage of the election this morning. Joy Wang is live with a big update on the local race, and Lindsay Mastis is at our alert desk.
Well, this morning, we know Biden has invited Trump to the White House as he prepares to return the keys to the man he ousted 4 years ago. Lindsay, when will we hear from Biden?
That's right. I'm getting information from the White House this morning from the alert desk, and his address to the nation is scheduled for 11 this morning. Ahead of the address, he posted a public statement about Harris's election loss, calling her campaign historic. And of course, this is something we're going to be following very closely. We're going to be bringing you President Biden's remarks live. We'll also have a recap online and on air. Now, we also know that Vice President Harris and President-elect Trump spoke. A Trump spokesman said that the president-elect acknowledged Vice President Harris on her strength, professionalism, and tenacity. And of course, we're going to continue to keep with this throughout the day.
All right, Lindsay, thank you. Well, this morning we have some new insight about Trump's plans once he is back in office. Sources tell ABC News he's preparing a list of executive actions he could take on day one. Now, Trump has called for the elimination of the Department of Education. That department provides programs such as Title I funding for schools in need of support, as well as Pell Grants for undergraduate students in financial need. Trump has also called for mass deportations of people in the U.S. illegally, but has not explained exactly how that operation would be carried out. He's also vowed to fire Jack Smith, the special counsel who's brought 2 federal cases against him. And he says one of his first acts as president will be to free some of the rioters convicted in the January 6th Capitol attack. Now, 2 other agenda items we know of. He plans to bring down inflation and impose tariffs on foreign goods. Of course, Adam, he'll need Congress's approval for some of these action items.
Right, and we know that he'll have a Republican majority Senate. We just don't know what's unfolding in the House yet, because right now we still have 35 undecided House seats. It takes 218 to win the majority. Right now, Republicans in Congress have just a slim majority with 220 seats. So 13 of these seats, which is extremely interesting, are actually in California. 13 of those undecided seats. So it could come down to California to decide who has control. What's interesting also is right now Republicans have flipped 6 formerly Democratic seats, while Democrats have only flipped 2, giving Republicans a net pickup right now of 4 seats. Now, one of these races that's going to be very close is this race right here in Maryland. This is in the District 6, so that's parts of Montgomery County, Frederick County, and the Western Maryland counties. 315 votes is all that separates both candidates right now. Counting in this race is going to resume here in just a couple of hours. What I want to show you is how close it is in some of the areas, including in Frederick County, and I want to show you how different it was than it was just 2 years ago in this race. So Neil Parrott, this is his 3rd time running for this seat. You can see the difference here of about 3,000 votes, but in Frederick County in 2002, Parrott only had 44% of the vote compared to David Trone's 55%. And we're seeing this across the board in all of the different counties, how the Democratic candidate has lost several points and the Republican candidate has picked up 4 or potentially even 5 points in these races. Now, in the race for Virginia's 7th congressional district, this one has finally been called. Democratic Eugene Vindman defeating Republican Derek Anderson. But this race, a lot closer than it was this time around, last time around. 7 News reporter Joy Wang is live in Prince William County for us this morning. So, Joy, Republicans were trying to flip this district. They came close, but weren't able to close the deal here.
Yeah, that's right. And so this seat will stay with Democrats. In fact, we've been talking for the past week or so about just how close this race is. And that's why there's been a lot of interest in this race as well. But Eugene Vindman, the Democratic candidate, he has officially declared victory. Meanwhile, his opponent, Derek Anderson, he has not conceded just yet. So we're going to start first with Eugene Vindman, what he said when he declared that victory.
I will stand in the way of extreme politicians who want to strip away basic health care rights from women. Look, I'm a local dad. I live with issues of affordability every day, whether I'm going to the grocery store or fueling up. There's been progress made, but we need more progress.
Vindman is the projected winner, but Derek Anderson, he released a statement saying, quote, "The process is ongoing and thousands of uncounted ballots remain. We want to make sure everyone's voice is heard in this extremely close race." But as we mentioned, with 100% of precincts reporting, we've already projected that Vindman is the official winner of this seat. Meanwhile, we'll continue to keep you updated on what both candidates have had to say over the next coming days. Live here in Prince William County, Joy Wang, 7 News.
Joy, thank you. In Maryland, the U.S. Senate seat held by retiring Senator Ben Cardin, that one is staying blue. Prince George's County Executive Angela Alsobrooks defeated former Republican Governor Larry Hogan. 7 News is on your side with what is next. Alsobrooks will need to resign as county executive. It's unclear when she'll do that, but when she does, Chief Administrative Officer Tara Jackson will hold the office until a special election to replace Alsobrooks takes place. Now, we know 4 candidates have already confirmed to us their plans of running. They include current County Council Chair Jolene Ivey, who just won election as an at-large at-large council member. State's attorney Aisha Braveboy has also confirmed she is in the race. At-large council member Calvin Hawkins is running, and a source close to former county executive Rashern Baker says he will campaign to win back his old job. Well, there is still a lot unfolding in this election cycle, as you can see here. Just scan this QR code on your screen for access to our interactive results on WJLA.com to stay up to date. You'll find local, state, and national results in real time.